Parkinson's disease is the fastest growing neurological condition causing disability. Symptoms include muscle stiffness, slow movement, impaired balance, and tremors. There is no cure. To manage severe tremors, a surgical procedure called Deep Brain Stimulation is an option often used and has shown beneficial results for many cases. Here to explain his treatment is Gary Johnson. Welcome, Gary. Please tell us about it.
Deep brain stimulation was first advised for me years ago by a neurologist who noticed the strong tremors in both of my hands. I put my name on the waiting list for it. I didn't realize how long that waiting list could be. I waited so many years.
What was life like while you waited?
All the while, my disease advanced quickly. Pills which are normally prescribed to manage the disease only made me feel sicker when I took them, so I stopped taking them. Naturally, my tremors grew stronger. I grew a beard because I got tired of slapping myself in the face with the razor every time I wanted to shave. Sleeping at nights became a problem, and so was eating. I ate with my fingers because I couldn't hold the utensils steady. Cookies and French fries became a real favorite of mine.
When did your name come up on the list?
In early 2023, the DBS clinic notified me to come in for an assessment. That getting there and back again meant taking long ferry rides. In 2023, I was not in very good shape. I was unstable on my feet and very shaky. When they put me through the MRI machine, they had to wrap me up in duct tape. I was shaking so bad. The nurses put me through a series of tests, like drawing spirals and pouring water from one glass to the next. Heck, I got really wet on that one. I met the surgeon. He said it would be appropriate to do just one side in the operation at a time because of my age. So we did the right side. He also said that the operation would only eliminate the tremors, and not the other symptoms of the disease. Therefore, it was important for me to have a system of drug management to go along with it.
You said you stopped taking your medications earlier?
Yes, I felt cornered into finding a drug that I could tolerate. The DBS nurse said that the operation would be roughly in 6 months away, with a 6 a.m. start time. There was also a list of preparations to do beforehand, which seemed pretty tricky to me. I began to feel unnerved and incapable of going through with this brain surgery.
Did you cancel it?
No, I didn't, but I let them know my hesitation about it. The nurses and the clinic decided to put my operation on hold until I leveled out with a medication that could work for me. Later they said that the new scheduled time would be in March of 2024.
Did you resolve your medication problem in time?
Yes. First I tried levodopa again, and again it made me feel sick. Then I tried Prolopa, and it also made me feel sick. Finally, a druggist friend of mine suggested Pramipexole. With that, the symptoms of the disease was decreased only slightly, but at least it did not make me sick, so I went with that. I also went with some sleeping pills over the counter to get me restored of my sleep, and that worked. Every week I was feeling stronger. By December of 2023, I was actually looking forward to the brain surgery, but not the 6 in the morning start.
What exactly does the surgery entail?
Deep brain stimulation involves implanting small electrodes into areas of the brain that control movement. These areas produce dopamine, and the areas become depleted as Parkinson's advances. The electrodes emit continuous electrical impulses from a stimulator implanted in the chest. This does not affect the dopamine production, but compensates for the secondary effects of the dopamine loss. Body symptoms, motor symptoms improve a little.
How did your surgery go on the date it was scheduled?
I arrived at the hospital on the day of the surgery on time, 6 a.m. I was admitted and taken to an area where I could change into a hospital gown. The doctors wheeled me away on a gurney to an area. They sit me up straight. The surgeon said, unfortunately, this could be the most uncomfortable part of the journey. Sometime later, I woke up in the hospital somewhere, and they wheeled me into a room and put me in a bed. Then the surgeon came by and said the operation was completed, and it was very successful. Tomorrow we'll get you in for a CAT scan. I could feel the stack of bandages on top of my head.
How many days did you spend in the hospital?
Just the one night. The next morning, the nurse came by and said, we'll get you in for the CAT scan. And they took me away, put me in the CAT scan, and brought me back. The nurse said, if it turns out fine, if you like what you see in the CAT scan, you can get discharged today. And in 10 days' time, you can go to your family doctors and get the stitches pulled. And the results from the CAT scan came back and they were favorable. So I was discharged around noon the second day.
Is there a way to control the system that was implanted?
Yes, they actually give you a remote control for it. 10 days later, I went to the doctors and got the stitches removed. And then I went back to the DBS clinic in 6 weeks. And of course, I meant another ferry ride. And they set up the channels for me on the controls. They found a channel that they thought was the best for me. And then they gave me this remote control. I'll show you how it works. There we are. The stimulation is on now. It was on during the interview. My hand's fairly stable. Now I'll turn the stimulation off. The stimulation is off. So you can see how wild my right hand goes. I'll turn it back on. Stimulation on. Takes a few seconds. There. Before I could not write my name. Now I can write my name. I feel so good about it.
Will you get the surgery for the left hand now?
Yes, I likely will. Because with my right hand, with my left hand shaking, I believe that there's a transference of vibration that goes to my right hand and affects that to shake. So if I get it on the left hand as well, I believe I will be a lot more stable all over. But first, I have to wait until I get confirmation from the DBS clinic. And that'll come fairly soon, I think. And when I get the operation done, I think that I have the opportunity to do part 2 video. So stay tuned.
Thank you for sharing your experience with Parkinson's disease and deep brain stimulation. Best wishes for an improved quality of life for the future, Gary.
Thank you, Linda.